Welcome to 5 Points of Articulation and Happy New Year! It's Top 10 season for action figure reviewers, and so today I'm going to count down my top 10 favorite McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures of 2021. But first, a couple of parameters. Number 1, these have to be figures that were released in 2021. Number 2, I had to have reviewed them on my channel. And 3, this list of course is subjective. DC Multiverse released a lot of figures this year, so some of your favorites might not be on the list. That said, I hope you enjoy my picks, and I'd love to hear yours in the comments below. And before we jump into 2021, I want to give a very special shout out to Flashpoint Batman. This figure was released in 2020, but I did review it in 2021. If I'd had a channel 1 year prior, it definitely would have been very close, if not at the very top of my list. And now, without further ado, my top 10 favorite McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures of 2021. Number 10. Wonder Woman from Last Night on Earth. I love the face sculpt and the metallic paint on the armor, and especially the articulation, and I would have loved it even more if it was a more traditional Wonder Woman design, and if just a little bit more care was paid to some of the paint detail. Additionally, the sword is very floppy and very easily bends out of shape. Aside from that, it's my favorite DC Multiverse Wonder Woman of 2021. Number 9. The Target exclusive blue and red Henry Cavill Superman. While I do understand why this wouldn't be the main Snyder Cut figure, it blows my mind that this ended up being an exclusive. It's a wonderful standard version of Henry Cavill Superman, and it's only let down by the likeness, which I do think is a little bit better than most people give it credit for. Number 8. Another Target exclusive, it's the Battle Damage Batman. This was a bittersweet release for a lot of fans who just wished that McFarlane had gotten it right the first time. I personally skipped out on the build-a version, and I'm really happy that I did. Not only was it more accurate, but it was a lot less expensive. It's also the only Battle Damage Batman I have at this scale, which makes it a great addition to my collection. Number 7. The Snyder Cut Cyborg. I love the Snyder Cut, and Ray Fisher's performance was the absolute heart and soul of the movie. This figure has possibly the best actor likeness that McFarlane Toys has ever pulled off, extra paint wash to bring out the details, and wonderful swivel hinge wrists and traditional ankle pivot. I love this figure, and I really hope that McFarlane Toys uses more of these kinds of articulation points moving forward. Number 6 is a tie. Power Suit Lex Luthor in both green and blue varieties. The green version is a fantastic representation of that version of the character, but the blue version, well, not entirely accurate or a look that I particularly love, does include that incredible versatile throne which I have been having so much fun with. And now if only McFarlane could put that same head sculpt on a business suit. Number 5. Superboy Prime. Not only did I have a lot of fun doing that review, but it's one of my favorite Superman characters that has sadly never really been all that well translated into plastic. While McFarlane did take some liberties, this is unmistakably Superboy Prime, and it's really only held back by the side-eye and the lack of interchangeable hands. Number 4. The single-carded Batman Beyond. This is a figure I've been wanting for years, and McFarlane hit it out of the park. It's also a great example of what some very thoughtful accessories can accomplish. Just like Superboy Prime, it came with a flight stand, but it also came with interchangeable hands, a batarang, and fire effects for his rocket boots. There have been several other reuses of that mold since this figure's release, but this is the most complete version of this character. Number 3. The comedian version of Joker from Batman The Three Jokers. I saw this figure and instantaneously fell head over heels in love. In fact, it's in my favorite top 3 Joker figures of all time. Maybe one day I'll count those down too. In the meantime, this is a scary interpretation of one of the darkest moments of Batman's darkest villain. Number 2. The Target exclusive armored version of the Snyder Cut Darkseid. I found this figure at Target literally on my birthday, and it was one of the greatest presents I could have ever received. Not only is it a fantastic representation of Darkseid from the movie, but it's also just stylish enough that I can include him in my comic book collection. Considering how expensive other Darkseid figures are, such as the Mattel Collect and Connect or the Storm Collectibles Injustice version, this $40 Mega Fig was a mega win. Before I reveal my pick for my favorite 2021 DC Multiverse figure, I do want to include an honorable mention. The Snyder Cut Flash. It's an incredible sculpt held back by lackluster paintwork. And my pick for my favorite 2021 DC Multiverse figure is a tie. The Dark Knight's Death Metal Batman and Batcycle. Not only is this one of the coolest Batman toys ever created, but it's frankly just one of the coolest toys I've ever seen. I love it so much that I actually have it on display in my living room for all of my guests to see. I hope you've enjoyed my top 10 favorite McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures of 2021. 2021? Sound off in the comments and let me know who's on your list. I'll be looking at some more 2021 McFarlane toys for at least the next month or so if there are any that I missed, I'll circle back around and include them next year. I'll be back again real soon, but until then, play nice and have fun.